Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I have been down here in my space scrapbooking, but just know that although you may not have noticed very much lapse in time, there has been a lapse in time, and I'm definitely having a little bit of a moment and where I'm not able to scrap as much as I would like, but I'm trying to slowly get back into it. And so I previously shared this collection with you. This is my collection obsession for the month of August. So I'm going to be playing with this today. I am going to do some real time, and then I will come back and just do a voiceover, because I'm going to try to leave a little bit of my content. But here's what I'm going to be working with. I have put together some papers and kind of made like a paper kit for this collection. So here I just left some little notes for myself. I already did this. So here are the papers I've chosen. So this is just the collection. I'm not going to use that for anything. This is side A and this is side B. I'm going to use these two. This is the green that came in the collection, so I brought it in because I am thinking about using this color green. Here is the flip side, and because let me just show you here, those are the three. I did bring in some white cardstock. And do you struggle with green? Like, I don't have the perfect green that matches this green perfectly or this green perfectly, but I have all of these. So I'm going to work with what I have. Hopefully one of these will work. I'm going to carry these forward to my other kits in the event that I don't end up using any from here. So those are the cardstocks from my stash. Then I am giving myself a little bit of a boost by using this sketch. This is from a previous 30 days of sketches. I want to say it's probably the round 11. I could be wrong, but it's a sketch by Sean Lar. So I will bring that up here in case you're interested in the sketch. And then I have so many photos that I have taken of our garden. Look at this one. It's just, I mean, some of these are just gorgeous. Look at these shots. Oh, I'm probably way off camera here. I'm sorry. Like, they're just gorgeous. I love this plant. I mean, I took a lot of shots of that one, but here's our roses, our basil. We have a flower garden, vegetable garden. Here's some other, did I take any? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, did I take any of my peonies? Here are my peonies when they were first starting open. These are my hydrangeas. Look at my mom's orchid. Look how many little buds it had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 orchid buds is my hydrangea. This is one of the newer additions this year. And this is just the beginning part. I have like additional photos to kind of tell different stories about this particular season. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have I don't think I mentioned, but I have used this sketch before and I just loved it so much. I loved so many things about it. I loved that I was able to have a lot of pictures, which I have that same situation right now. but I'm going to try to select the ones just to make sure that this sketch is going to work in terms of the orientation. I may have to adjust as needed, but this is the inspiration for sure. I may not be able to stick completely to it, but I'm going to try. This is, I love this one because it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of stuff going on, not just the photos. It has the embellishment clusters. It has photos or embellishments that you can cut into different shapes. Yeah, I love Sean's sketches. So I'm going to use that as an inspiration, and I'm going to lay it out, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay guys, I'm coming to you live. I have just used this white cardstock as a backdrop. I've trimmed all of my photos sort of to go along with the sketch. These are not 4x4 photos. So I just used what I had, which is 4x3s. I also didn't have 4x6 photos for this area here. So I'm doing, again, the 4x3s. I'm just doing them horizontally. I am doing 3 photos in this area here instead of 4. And then I'm keeping this here. The title I'm thinking will go here. And then I do have these 2 extra photos that I'm thinking about doing in these areas here, but I'm going to kind of just leave them off to the side. I have not cut any paper or anything, but I'm thinking that maybe this blue stripe I'm going to put all along the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to kind of just check in and see how that looks. And then I might have to rework my papers again, because I don't know if this paper is going to be too busy for the rest of this area. So before I cut into anything, I'm going to try to come up with another pair for this blue, or if I can see if anything else might match this in a less busy paper for this one. So I might have to switch some stuff out. So I will be fast forwarding at this point, and so I hope you enjoy the process. Okay guys, so here I'm bringing you some of my process, a lot of my process I left in this particular video. Since it's been a while, I figured might as well. So you'll see that I have, and I apologize for the glare, but I have gone ahead and kind of placed the photos where I think they're gonna go. Right now I'm going to be cutting 1/4-inch strips from this particular paper, and they will go on the top and the bottom of both of the layout pages, just like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of adhering, just to kind of thinking that over. And what I'm also realizing is that I feel like I need to add a little bit more color to the background in some way. So I'm going to go ahead and here in a second, I'm going to try on different papers, but I end up landing back with that green. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm going to land with placing and matting these photos here in the bottom right corner, and the top strip there. I'm going to end up using that green color pattern paper from the collection. As I was mentioning earlier, finding like the greens that match, oh my goodness, you'd think in my stash of green papers I would have found something. I mean, these are closely related, but they are not exact matches. But we adapt, we use what we have and call it good. As I was mentioning, we have really taken advantage this year of the summer and of our time. We're not doing a whole lot of traveling during the summer, so we did go ahead and we planted a garden back in the spring, and so we did both vegetables and flowers. We've done a lot of landscaping and things like that over the last few weeks, so it's been a definite labor of love, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, I paused to watch something, whatever I was watching on TV. Trying to get into the groove of things, and I don't know about you guys, but I kind of ebb and flow with what I watch or listen when I'm crafting. I'm more of a TV watcher, I would say. Oh, cracking my knuckles. But I will say that I could have cut some of this out. Oh my goodness. But I will say that I have been watching a lot less video content, I will say, and I have shifted over to reading. I've been reading quite a bit. I've been reading about a book every 2 weeks, and I'm kind of loving it. I've always been a reader, but I take like really long breaks in between. But I've picked it up again. I actually went to the library, got my library card, and I did this like last fall, and really wasn't taking too much advantage of it. And then I found that my local library, for those of you who may be interested, has a they have a connection to like different apps where you can just you essentially like borrow digital versions of the books. And I can say I love a good paperback book, but I can honestly say that like I appreciate the fact that I'm not having to buy books when my library has the free digital copies for me to read. And that goes for magazines and audiobooks as well. So our household is taking great advantage of that little perk. We've been reading, and yeah, it's been great. But on this particular day, I am watching TV while I'm doing this, while I'm working in the craft room, and I was watching, oh my goodness, what is it called? I'm gonna have to look it up. I just finished watching it and the season, and I already can't remember the name. Isn't that lovely? something. Oh my. Let's see. Okay, let me find it while you guys watch this. What am I working on? Oh, okay. I'm going ahead and I'm matting. I've sped this up quite a bit. I am working on the right hand side now. All right, where would it be? I know it's something Magnolias. It's on Netflix. Let me see if it's up here. I don't think it's The Magnolias, right? It's not Steel Magnolias. That's the movie. Sweet Magnolias. Yes, Sweet Magnolias. So I watched the new season of that and getting caught up in that because like I said, I haven't really been watching a ton of TV, except for, you know, at nighttime we watch the news and things like that, but not too much by way of like series or movies and things like that. I've just have found that reading has been really helpful for me in these like really stressful times when I just kind of need to shut my brain off, not think, and really just concentrate on something else. So here I'm going ahead and I'm thinking about this right hand side, this one photo, because I do want there to be a little pop, so some color that will make it pop. And I find this color, now I know it probably doesn't look like, oh well, that, I mean, it's part of the collection, and so for that reason it goes, but it will come together once I'm gonna bring in the next few minutes. You'll see that I actually bring the cut apart, the 3x4 cut aparts, and so it will have some of these colors in there, and then once I start my sticker bases for the clusters, it will also have some of these colors as well. So I'm just trimming this down, and yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. But yeah, so we I can't wait to do the layouts. I haven't even gone ahead and like really formally, I have to take more photos because we've just been so busy with harvesting, and I'm just not the greatest at remembering to take photos while we're doing it, or while while we're harvesting and stuff. But we have basil plants, tomato plants, we have the beefsteak tomatoes, we have cherry tomatoes, we have all kinds of peppers. We have a ton of green beans. We have regular peppers, sweet peppers, I think Italian peppers. My parents picked out sriracha peppers. And then there's another one I'm forgetting. We have like, I don't know, like 6 pepper plants. And then this year we also planted onions. So the sweet, like Vidalia type onions, so we have those that are growing. And then we also planted beets, and the beets are doing excellent. We have been harvesting pretty much weekly. And then the only ones that didn't do well were cucumbers, and we have a whole bunch of herbs and things like that. So grateful for our bountiful gardens. I think that will be my title for my next one. I just have to make sure I take pictures. So I may just end up doing some base pages for those, but there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot because we're still, like I said. And then we're thinking about planting in the fall for next year. So, and maybe doing our own little seedlings and all of that, so that we can just kind of move it forward. We're taking the seeds from certain plants, and we're going to try to see if we can get them to become little plants for next spring for planting. All right, so here I think I've gone ahead and I've cut the 3x4 cut aparts, and I'm looking through the sticker sheet and just trying to pick out some things that I may be able to use. I still have those 2 photos that I'm gonna put onto those 3x4 cards, but I'm thinking about the title work and the additional clusters that have to come in. So I'm just trying things out here, pulling things off and putting them back if they don't look like they're gonna work. Yep. And I wasn't too worried. I'm like, you know, succulents, it's not really what it are in photos, but it's more about the plants, right? So I'm okay with that. So I was reading today because we have an overwhelming harvest of tomatoes, and specifically the cherry and the beefsteak tomatoes. And I just found out today, I didn't know this, that I can go ahead and I can freeze them whole, if you could believe that, which is amazing because we do make our own, we do enjoy making our own tomato sauce. I don't really know much about canning. I'm not going to go down that route, but I think I'm going to freeze them and then I can take them out and I can make them into my own sauce. So that, for me, cuts out the canning part. And the tomatoes will last uncooked for 6 months. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that with the surplus of tomatoes that we have. And hopefully it'll make a delicious sauce, and we will use up things from our, like I said, from our bountiful garden. We've had so much rain. I don't know about where you live, but it has definitely helped some of our plants, but oof, some of them have, it's been hard to keep up. It's so different than compared to a couple of years ago? Man, we barely had, like, we didn't get tomatoes, I think, until, no, it was more than 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Here in the Northeast, we didn't get tomatoes until like August, and this year we've had them, I don't know, we've had even little ones. I think they started popping up in June, where they were getting red and everything. So we've been enjoying them this summer. They make some delicious sandwiches and salads. We've just been enjoying them. I have yet to make the caprese salad. I think it's caprese, I don't know. The one with the mozzarella and the balsamic, but mouth is watering. All right, so here I'm going ahead and I am going through, and I am just popping, using my favorite pop dots, which are the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals here. Got my little garbage bin. This is, I just throw my little scraps of papers and little things like that I can go ahead and recycle. And then, I'm going to go ahead and that blue 3x4 card will go right above it. And then I think I'm just going to trim down the rows. So here you see my extra things to be recycled. So I have a bigger bin. And then once that gets full, then I dump that into just my recycle paper bag. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this blue card. I'm just using this for size. I'm like, do I want to cut this? No. I'm not going to punch it out, but I am just going to start trimming it down until it fits in that white space. Though you can't really see it from here, or at least in my little screen, but there is a black border to that white, to the white center. So I'm just making sure that my flower photo fits inside of that. So, let's see. Okay. So, here I am just bouncing around, and I'm hopefully this will fit perfectly. I think it does. I think it ended up coming out just perfect. That's one of our is that one of the new roses? No, that's an existing rose that we had here in the garden. The new ones are off to, one of them is off to the right, and then one of them is up top. But what is your favorite flower? Tell me what your favorite flower is. We are definitely considering adding more to our front garden. So I need something that can kind of do well in some shade, some sun, but not full sun. The front doesn't always get full sun except for like first thing in the morning. my favorites are my peonies, but they're time limited. You know, the thing, that's the only drawback to the peonies. My second favorite probably are my hydrangeas. Those are, you know, when they flower, I do like to bring them in the house. I really enjoy having flowers in the house. So we did buy a different variety of flower last year, but it still hasn't flowered. So I don't know if it'll flower closer to the fall, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It has like a big, huge, it looks very tropical, but it still hasn't flowered yet. I don't know if it's going to flower this year. But we have a ton of peonies, so I have a variety of different colors. I have lilies. I have, what else do we have? Roses. We have lilies, hydrangeas. We just got a couple of different varieties of hydrangeas as well. Those are the ones that come to mind. We've even had to, some of the hydrangea plants have been so big we've actually separated them, or my husband has. I take no credit for the garden. I just like to pick out the pretty flowers, and then I help him maintain, obviously, and weed, all the good stuff that comes along with gardening. I've been enjoying that. That I would say has been also a real de-stressor to do that, even though it's work and it's hard work depending on what you're doing, but it has brought me a lot of just centering and just kind of, I don't know, just getting my mind off of some, you know, the stuff that I've been working on. So here I'm going to come to you a little bit more real time. Here is like the semi-finalized. I've gone through my stash. It's been really hard to find that color blue to match. So here I'm just taking you through my color bins. These are Snapware containers that I purchased many moons ago at Joann's. I love it because they're roughly, what did I say? Like, I'm going to measure it here in a second, I think. But I love it because this has all of my color stuff that's non-themed. So for example, so I'm just pointing because that blue has been really hard to match. And so I'm just kind of going through that. This is the part that, like, I don't mind rummaging through this stuff because, you know, they're just little bits of stuff, and it's really hard to match to that blue. So I eventually end up giving up. I don't find anything except for, you're going to see some die cut cameras. Oh, there they are, right there. Those are the closest to that color. And then I do pull some enamel dots. They're, again, not perfect, not perfectly matched, but it's as close as we're going to get. So that's where I just take just regular cardstock, and that's where I put my enamel dots, because it was a hot mess trying to have all of these different sheets in there with enamel dots. Things were just popping off. They work so much better like this. So here I'm going through the green again, trying to match the green and seeing if there's anything. I don't think I bring anything out from there, but I do pull those for the enamel dots. So I'm going to go ahead and set those aside. And then I have my orange and blue together, orange and yellow together. And so I'm just looking through here. I find some things that I'm like, oh, maybe I can make that work. No, it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So I thought those might be contenders, but I don't end up using them. As I keep digging here, I do find some brads. That's the word. I do end up finding 3 brads that are that same color at the top, not the corally, but more of the orange. So I do bring in 3 of those to put in each of the clusters, and then I also grab some enamel dots. So I go and do that in just a few minutes here. And I have pulled in, you may see it on the top and the bottom of that right hand side. I have a puffy butterfly towards the bottom below that hydrangea photo, and at the top you see like a blue heart, and that is chipboard. So those I have in my, I just pulled from my dimensional embellishment drawer that I have close to where I sit. So I know I keep those all together, and again, it's anything that's non-themed is in that drawer that is lumpy and bumpy that I want to add to layout. So I know where to go for stuff, just the way that I have it organized. And so here are the final shots. Here's the finished layout. I just have to do my journaling there at the bottom of the page. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will have all of the wonderful for the wonderful people that are also participating in the series linked in the description box. Until next time, bye for now.